IVM.
My neighbors have an 8-year-old daughter who attends a dance class after school and then also comes home and practices. Whenever I see her practice, I'm reminded of my own childhood. As we grow up, our passions are often left behind as we work towards securing the financial futures of those we love. In our show, A Sip of Finance, we often talk about these financial responsibilities. Now imagine if you could still work on your dreams while someone took care of your financial responsibilities. करो पूरे अपने इरादे, अपनों से किए सभी वादे. SBI Life अपने लिए, अपनों के लिए. Log on to www.sbilife.co.in for more details. IRRR registration number 111. Welcome to SBI Life Insurance presents A Sip of Finance by Priyanka Acharya. SBI Life Insurance, अपने लिए, अपनों के लिए. We always feel there is so much to do, so much work, so many responsibilities. Why should I also additionally manage finances? To bring the change in this thought, here I am once again with a sip of finance. So today, we are going to understand the combined version of IRRR. In the last 4 episodes, we explored each term individually. Think of that more like plain cement. And think of this episode more like the water we will need to bind the cement well. Welcome to SBI Life Insurance presents A Sip of Finance podcast by Priyanka Acharya. I'm your host Shanali, and this is a lady special podcast that will help you get better with your finances. Conceptualized by Priyanka Acharya, a financial consultant who simplifies a lot of financial jargon for you. She comes with 14 plus years of experience in this field and has helped many grow their money. So, you can now learn simple finance not just in English but in 7 other languages. Let's get started. So, let's look at today's sip. Hello, madam. I'm your financial advisor. If you remember, you invested in an SIP last year with me. There are many new and excellent schemes coming up with insurance, bonds, and gold. Can we meet next Saturday so I can explain it to you in detail? Don't worry. I am not talking about cold calls. In a scenario like this, where your known financial advisor calls you, there are fixed reactions that you usually give. 1. My dad is out of town. We can meet after he's back. 2. I'll check if my husband is available on Saturday and let you know. 3. Oh, investments. Too tied up with festivals and work. Can we do this after a few months? We always feel that there is so much to do, so much work, so many responsibilities. Why should I also additionally manage finances? To bring the change in this thought, here I am once again with a sip of finance. So today, we are going to understand the combined version of IRRR. In the last 4 episodes, we explored each term individually. Think of that more like plain cement. And think of this episode more like the water we will need to bind the cement well. Femina, a popular women's magazine, conducted a research in 2020, and I was really shocked by the results. They surveyed nearly 100 well-educated women working in diverse fields to gauge their financial literacy and understand if they were empowered to make investment decisions. Investment choices of women rarely go beyond traditional options. In fact, in this research, 92% of them admitted honestly that their financial decisions are taken by their husbands, fathers, brothers, or sons. 83% of them had minimal or no knowledge of mutual funds or modern financial instruments. Wait, this isn't all. 77% of them have around 1.5 lakhs. Yes, you heard it right. 1.5 lakhs cash lying with them as their secret savings. Almost all of them are repaying loans, but couldn't correctly answer how EMIs work. Only 14% of them had taken the courage to invest in paper based gold instead of physical gold. And listen to this, around 82% of them are aware how much tax is deducted from salaries, but less than 5% of them file their own returns by themselves. Well, 97% of them have not even visited the income tax website till now. I thought of coming up with this episode because I can see women empowerment and liberation all around. But I feel upset when I don't see the feminine financial liberation getting enough attention and knowledge. Let us understand the top 3 reasons. Number 1. Just as I mentioned the story of my neighbor Shruti last time in the research episode, there has been a typical mindset for years that the girl child is to be busy with her Barbie dolls, studies, and then family. The mindset has remained unchanged since so many generations and has therefore become very strong and rigid. Number 2, when a woman opts for a career or a business or a job, she is by default expected to prioritize her home over any of it. So let us say a man has a meeting. These days, online meetings. The entire home becomes disciplined so as to not disturb him during his work. When the female has an online meeting, even if she's at a very senior position, she is supposed to keep the snacks ready for the child, medicines ready for her father in law, and of course, meals ready for her hard working husband. Where is the time for her to grow her money when there is so little time she has for her own self? Number 3, women have a natural habit to observe others. If a woman sees all other women wearing Western formals, she will also try to make her way. If she sees everyone in the colony has a cook, she will also follow the trend. If she sees everyone is sending their child to some extra classes, she will get the FOMO feeling and enroll her child too. Now, as we saw in the research, if there are such few women who understand finance, obviously the influence is also pretty low. So when she sees everywhere that men handle all financial things, she accepts that as a norm too. But I'm sure while listening to this episode, you must have thought at least once that this needs to change. And with this show, I have taken my step towards changing this pattern. This is not any protest or gender bias. It should become normal for women to know all about money matters. Let's actually become the Lakshmi of our houses. In the last 4 episodes, I shared about 4 concepts: inflation, risk, return, and research. All I wanted to tell you is that finance is not complicated. It just needs time. Upbringing of a child isn't complicated. It just needs attention. In school, I saw this written on the notice board: the hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. So, where is that hand when it comes to ruling family finances? I'm not even expecting a dominant ruling. I'm just saying managing family finances. To do that, let's summarize the steps we discussed so far. First, make a financial checklist with micro, short, mid, long, and super long term priorities. Second, check what is currently happening within the family finances. Third, bring an environment of transparent discussions with small little things. Fourth, identify your lifestyle changes in the last 10 years and understand the lifestyle inflation. Fifth, see if you have only parked your money out of a belief bias. Open up to opportunities and start spreading your money. Would you yourself like it if you scored 100 on 100 in science and failed in other subjects? No. Same goes with finances. Sixth, don't make decisions based on the percentage you will get. Tag your returns to the financial checklist we made in step 1. Seventh, Spare 30 minutes per week for financial meditation. Read qualitative investor education stuff and make your life sorted. Like 7 Surs in music, I hope you will learn these 7 finance steps and bring symphony in your life. When a child falls off a swing, a typical Indian household will question, what was the mother doing? Didn't she pay any attention? Well, I am just waiting for a day when a family flourishes financially and it is said, Mom is the real Lakshmi. She manages not just our tantrums but also our financial arrangements. That will perhaps be my proudest day. That's a wrap on this episode of SBI Life Insurance Presents a Sip of Finance podcast. We will see you in the coming week. Thank you for tuning in. If you found this podcast helpful, do give us a shout out on social media and tag us. It will help us empower more people. If you want to reach out to Priyanka, she is available on Instagram at Priyanka Acharya and on LinkedIn as Priyanka Acharya. You can listen to this podcast on the IVM Podcasts app, website, or wherever you get your podcasts. Do follow us on social media. We are at IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. See you in the next episode. Thank you for listening to SBI Life Insurance Presents a Sip of Finance by Priyanka Acharya. SBI Life Insurance, अपने लिए, अपनों के लिए.
There's a quick survey to fill out on ivmpodcast.com/survey. It lets us know a little bit more about who's listening to us. And you know what? We're going to do a few prizes. So, we'll do a random drawing of maybe 10 people and we'll send you all some swag. Remember, that's ivmpodcast.com/survey where you can fill out the survey.
Hey, it's been another great week on the IVM Podcasts Network. On Cyrus Says Cock and Bull, Cyrus, Ayushi, Nivedita and Abbas address the rumors about Putin having blood cancer and discuss how an American cat owner won rupees 95 lakhs in a settlement. Is the Taj Mahal a Hindu temple? Esteemed cultural writer Rana Safwi weighs in on this debate with Siddharth Bhatia on The Wire Talks. On Smarter with Sid, Siddharth ponders whether it is okay to take a nap during working hours. On Marathi Khidkitun, the Deshmukhs talk to Marathi actress Amruta Khanvilkar about her new film Chandramukhi. And on Ek Chuski Finance, Priyanka explains why research is a must in making financial decisions. We've got some exciting news for you. IVM Podcasts has just launched its merch and our first line is out now. Head to the IVM Podcasts website and click on the shop tab to check out our first collection of t-shirts. Do follow us on social media. We are IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And remember, if you're enjoying this show or any of our other shows for that matter, please do tell a friend. Don't forget to rate us on any platforms you're listening on. You can also check us out on YouTube. We are also doing a small listener survey to better understand how you respond to our shows and advertising on the network. We would really appreciate if you could spare a few minutes to fill it. It helps us build better shows for you. And finally, we would like to thank our sponsors this week, SBI Life Insurance and Jupiter, a digital banking app.